We're going to be looking at what I consider the hardest measure, the hardest fill in Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. We're going to be going at a slow BPM like 50, well, actually 50, and we got to work all the way up to 95. So we're going to start from beat 1 of the second measure of the fill, where the first measure is kind of a lead up into it. So the second measure would sound, the second measure on beat 1 would be, and if you're new to playing drums or this new to this beat, which most of us are because you're here to learn it, ignore those accents if it's too hard for you right away, because we got one beat that's not going to be accented later. So if you want to just make them all sound alike and not too worried about the accent. And then a kick drum would be over top of that. Cool. And then on beat 2, we're going to hit a kick drum by itself. So we got 1 and a 2, E and. So. And that's just kind of a nice little exercise. So let's do that with a metronome at 50 BPM. Now, if that's difficult for you to do as I play along, just play your hands, and I'll do one round just like that. Which can be a little tricky to skip that 16th note rest on beat 2. So it's and a 2 E and 1 and a 2 E and. Put the feet back in. Yep. And you can think about putting those accents in or making those beats all sound the same. Oops, I'm playing it wrong. Get the regular beat down first and then add in the extra things. All right, speaking of that, we're going to slow it down to 40. Show you a little trick for this accent coming up. Since we have 3 E and with that E of 3 not meant to be accent. So here's how I kind of would work on it. So you got to hear those 16th notes. 3 E and 3 E and 3 E and 3. So really want to make sure I got that 3 in the end that are both accented down. And 3 and 3 and 3 and 3 and. And then so adding that right hand in and just really thinking, oh, I got to play that right though. And I'm exaggerating. I wouldn't want to be that quiet because it'd be more like a ghost note. Now 3 and 3 and 3 and 3 and 3 E and. Okay, and then I would do the same thing and just add the so 3 and 3 and. Oh, and then I couldn't play it twice in a row. And just kind of repeat that over and over again. Go back to the 3 and make sure you're good at that. Then add the 3E and 3E and 3E and 3E and. Okay. Let's try those last 2 beats of the measure. Nah, let's go back to, let's go back to 50 because it might be a little too slow to play that at 40. That was good to, that was good to show you how to practice it, but probably not best to play with it. If that's too hard, just take those accents out and ignore them. So let's try that whole measure at 50. All right, let's get the lead-in measure figured out. So we're just going So it'd be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we get started with the rest of the fill. Let's try to put those 2 together and we'll see if we can get into the second measure. One and 2 and 3, 4. And you can hear every once in a while I want to push that metronome just a little bit because 50 is a little bit slow and I just need to relax. So let's try to do 4 good ones in a row. And that last time through, I rushed pretty bad in that first measure, but that's okay. Learn from my mistakes. Here is 60 BPM, both measures. getting the tempo, so hopefully I don't rush this time. Okay, so for the most part, I feel pretty fine about it. You know, every once in a while I get a little bit out of tempo, probably because I'm thinking. Shouldn't be thinking, I should be focusing. So let's just go up by 65, just a small increment this time. And I want to set those eighth notes. Kind of let that tell me what the tempo should be, so when we get into playing, I don't rush it so bad. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's move up to 70. Now, as we get faster, my hands are going to have to move quicker, obviously, self-explanatory. But because of that, I'm going to do a hands only on the second measure and see how that is. So, ooh. 1 and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1 and a 2E and. Okay, all right, feeling okay about that. Putting both measures together and just see how I do with that kick. All right, let's jump to 80 and see how it goes. And we're gonna go back to just hands, even though that might get a little sloppy. It's a good idea to just kind of change up how you're practicing it and then put it back together. Don't hit your sticks while you're playing. Try to put the feet in and see how that goes. 2, 3, 4. You could hear the first two. First two were sloppy, and that's okay. Just repeating that fill over and over again with the hands and the feet just throws me off a little bit, but that's a good way to practice it. So let's do that again. I'll try to do like 4 hands in a row and then 4 feet with hands. Need to pay attention. 1, 2, 3, 4. Two, three, 4. All right, let's put together both measures. One, 2, 3, and 4, and... So I'm getting a little sloppy because even though 95 is the full tempo of the song, you can start to hear I'm getting sloppy at 80. So let's push it up to 85 to see how I do. You can always, if you need to get to full speed, always play a metronome. Give it a try. You should be trying to do that a little bit anyway. Practice it with me, learning it, and then practice it by yourself with a metronome. Messed up the beat. 2. Messed it up again. So 85 might be mine. 2, 3, 4. All right, so that wasn't pretty. That's okay. I'm okay practicing for a little bit and being sloppy, just knowing that tomorrow when I start working on this again, I'll slow the tempo down. Start from like 60, really make sure my hands are moving correctly, everything's going the right way. Me talking away from the microphone and pretending you guys can hear me. Two, 3, 4. Yep, got to clean that end up. It's nice. It's easy to hesitate on some of those 16th note rests. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. All right, so probably the best thing I could do is go back to 80. kind of here. I mean, I know I fall apart on that beat 3 and beat 4, sometimes holding that last 8th note too long. Sometimes it's a 16th note rest. So reaffirm kind of where I should be at tomorrow when I pick this up to practice and fix that. Or I'm just going to play it sloppy for a while, and that's not going to do me or you any good. Going to kind of purposely try to drag this rhythm this time because I like to rush it. And 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll forget that didn't happen. We'll pretend that didn't happen. 3, 4. So I can just hear the sloppiness. So I'm going to do just a little bit of this. Let's go 75 with just hands. Kind of, again, hear what I'm making a mistake on, or make it slow enough where I'm not making that mistake. And a 2 E and 3 E and up. Two, 3, 4. I hear it. So a lot of times it's 4 E, and I'm late on that E. 4 E and 4 E and. So I go 3 E and E and 3 E and E and 3 E and yeah. So 3 E and 3 E and. So and that metronome was kind of telling me where I was making that mistake. I just needed to slow it down so I could actually hear what was throwing me off. All right, let's do the beat a couple more times at 75. See if I can fix that. 3, 4. All right, we'll pick that up tomorrow then. Thanks for watching. If you need the sheet music, there's a link below for it. If you want to just check out our website and look what a subscription might get for you, check that out below as well.